Thank y'all for tuning in. We do apologize for the difficulties today. We had a little glitch going, but like I said, and me and the lady said together, the devil is alive. We're going to continue on, even though it's a little bit late. Just bear with us. As I said, we are paying tribute today to Maya Angelou, a great poet, legendary, and remembered for her passing and all that she have left behind us. If y'all bear with me just a minute. Let's see here. Play one thing's another. Let me see. Okay, if you're tuning in now, please do a watch party, share, share, share. As I stated before, please do forgive us for running late with the technical difficulties. But we are continuing on. Ain't nothing going to stop us. Never have, never will. When God purposed you to do something, we are going to continue on. So, like I said, this is just a small glimpse. We can go on from here. And I'm going to go ahead and play a piece from Maya Angelou titled I Rise.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of times. Just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down my teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh, does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.
She was an American lyricist, memoirist, and civil rights activist. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, such as I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, and Still I Rise. They Went Home, and No Loser, Now Weeper. She is credited with a list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She received dozens of awards and more than 5 honorary degrees. During her 50-year career that culminated in 3 Grammys, 1 Presidential Medal of Freedom, a Pulitzer nomination, and 36 books. She never failed to use the power of her skilled words to candidly reflect on the sorrows and celebration of the human experience. In my life, she has helped me not only find my voice to write, from pain, wounds, and scars through a melodic rhyme to heal. I am Spicy Gray with the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour, and this is our tribute to Maya Angelou. gently laying hands upon my chest. Thoughts of deception hinders peaceful rest. Looking in mirror is reflection of pain, tears falling like the showering rain. My mind questions, why give him my heart? To once again be torn all apart? Past scars has scorned my inward glow. Hopes of happiness towards wind do blow. For once, I able myself to open up. Acceptance of his comfort and filling my cup. Pulling me close, making feeling of safe embraces. Gazing into his eyes, I see no empty spaces. He leaves without warning, like a thief into the night, contemplating of his true worth towards the fight. Betrayed like the seasoning, placed on a shelf, eyes open, realizing I was in love all by myself. That is In Love by Myself by my very own CD, The Unspoken Heart. I have now a multi-talented powerhouse trained actress, dancer, and choreographer, writer, singer, and lyricist. Born and raised in H-Town, artist of Poetically Yours, CD, I bring to y'all to the stage Mrs. La Femme Nikita. Hello, hello, Nikita.
Hi.
Today we're going to let y'all hear a piece from her before we get started and bring in the rest of the guests.
I am her, the her that is the mother, the her that saves all mankind when the trials and tribulations of life occur. I am her, bringing the treasures of Africa from the motherland, the her that holds up the man in the tragedies of life, buckles his stand. I am her, carrying my babies in my arms, shielding them from fire with the ringing of the alarm. I am her that walked with no fear during the Katrina storm, to save my babies from drowning in the midst of the storm. I am her that walked in the fields of white cotton, the her that sang hymnals for the souls of the forgotten. I am her that chose to escape the Holocaust, fleeing to the forest of eastern Poland, fighting for the memory of the other Jewish women lost. I am her that gave birth at the age of 16, the her that they said wouldn't amount to anything. When you're looking at me, it's a reflection of her. How can you judge when you don't know her? And no one could take the place of her. I am her. I am her. The her that walked the stage holding me. The her that moved on to earn a Texas Southern degree. The her that didn't eat so that my brother and I could. The her that was raped and left in a trash bag of a nearby neighborhood. My mother, who chose to pray away pain to recover. My beautiful black hero that embraces me when I feel hurt and lonely. I am her that lives in a house of no defeat. The her that isn't afraid to speak. The her that will encourage when she doesn't have courage. To keep on fighting with her feminine power. The her that prays silently in the last hour. I am her. I am her. When you look in the mirror, it's a reflection of her. How can you judge when you don't know her? Oh, and no one can take the place of her. No one. I am her. No one. I am her. I am the cancer survivor. The her that they said would die in the night. The her that walked on when the doctors doubted she might. I am her.
Yes, powerful, powerful. I told y'all we got a special treat today. And when I say special treat, this is one you'll never forget. Trust me, you will not forget at all. Now, the next one I'm bringing, when you think about her and you listen to her lyrics, all you can hear is nothing but love. I tell you, she's a teacher, she's a lyricist, published author, licensed cosmetologist, public figure, holds the title of Miss Petite Converse. Yeah! Co-founder of Sin's Artistic Eye, advocate for children, CEO and founder of Jason Needs Poetry Corner, born in Chattahoochee, Georgia, artist of Within My Soul CD. I now bring y'all lovely vibes.
Years old, destined to be a queen. What he stole from you was a priceless thing. Scared, embarrassed, confusion took over your mind. Your body is your temple. He had no right. Childhood taken, you couldn't cry out. No one would listen to what comes out of a baby's mouth. Children were to be seen, never heard. Was this your fault? Boy, how that hurt. Nightmares, dreams of killing yourself. Scrubbing your skin so hard, you develop physical scars. Wondering what people would think, feelings of loneliness. Slowly you began to sink, out of sight, out of mind, thinking no one could love you. You hated yourself. Beauty was a trap. Someone please help. Shut yourself off. Relation, worthless, dirty. You needed some help. Was this real? Did my mind make it up? If that was true, how'd I conjure this pain? Head to the ground, eyes at your feet. Walk really fast, they won't see me. Constantly feeling under attack. Eye contact, what's that? As you age, you got even more beautiful. Your body filled out, your mind so intellectual. What he did never died a day. Men took advantage. Abuse, mentally, emotionally, rape. She's a jewel, so precious and rare. Pain made her strong. Fire filled her air. One day she began to see how light moved beneath her feet. She pushed back her shoulders, chin elevated. Finally she realized she could survive. Beat all the odds despite her past. Destined to be a queen, here at last.
Wow, love it, love it, love it. I'm telling y'all right now, when I say that it's going to be special, this is going to be fire. When you hear this song, I'm telling you, all you can think about is love coming from her. And this is a beautiful CD. And I'm going to tell you, when I say that the next guest is bringing us something new, she is new to the stage. She's a rhythm in motion. I'm telling you straight up, she is fire. She has an associate degree in graphic designing and sociology. Consistent. She was consistent on the president's list and Dean's list. Lyrics, performance, owner of a t-shirt company. Devotional Custom Tees is the name. Newly released published author of Healing Souls book. I introduced y'all to my girl, our favorite, Miss Symbolic Soul.
Hi, everybody.
Secret lives.
Oh, excuse me. Just the wrong part.
Phenomenal woman.
Y'all, I am so sorry. We're going to get it right together today.
Hey, she's speaking into existence. I'm gonna be the next Maya, y'all. That's
right. Let's hit it now. This is Symbolic Soul.
You started off as the apple of my eyes, looking like pure perfection through my young eyes. You could tell no lies. Plus, I placed you high on a pedestal. In my mind, you made me feel like I was so special. All your imperfections were acceptable. You taught me some valuable lessons, and I would never forget them. Waiting at the front door and so anxious for you to walk in. I waited and waited, only to be disappointed again. My conscious soul always searched and longed for the truth. Whenever I didn't hear your footsteps, I just knew that someone was going to tell me a lie or two. Although I was labeled crazy and people thought I really didn't have a clue, I reviewed the world through my double vision lenses and hoped for a breakthrough. The world judged me, but you saw me for me. I was your favorite girl, and you made me feel like no young man could ever give me what I need. That was really cool, and I really appreciated that about you. But unconsciously, your love for me fed your wife's insecurities. Suddenly, I was left with scars that would eventually take years to heal, a hard pill to swallow, so my soul became hollow, a foolish child running around wild, questioning my existence and wishing for a miracle. Spiritual beings somehow found their way to me and tried to plant seeds, but me, being young and naive, kept me trapped in a web of deceit, no longer determined to accept nothing but the truth. In search for answers, I ran across these letters, written on that yellow notebook paper. Line for line, each word penetrated my mind. Intrigued by my actions, I continued to read. All of a sudden, I realized that you might not ever come back for me. I remember thinking, I knew she was lying to me. She told me that you were working, but my curiosity confirmed something different. Each word cut me real deep. Why did they have to take my daddy from me? To my mama, you was every cuss word in the book. But to me, you was a young girl's dream. You would do anything to supply my wants and needs. Birthdays, family functions, and special holidays would never be the same. They took my daddy from me, and I will probably never see him again. Asking myself, did I do something to make him leave? Perplexed by this idea, I began to do some investigating. I looked under the bathroom sink and discovered a little brown bag of something. I explored each color sack, which all consisted of a white residue. Man, I guess I finally got my breakthrough. Fear and anxiety kicks in as I present this unfamiliar substance to my mother. She tells me it's nothing, so I just go back outside and continue running.
That is Symbolic Soul. We thank you for that. That is a beautiful piece. That's our newly released book, Healing Souls. Be looking for it on platforms. She will tell you about it a little bit later. Welcome to the panel. We have a returning guest, Nikita. Love Femme Nikita. I'm gonna get it together tonight, Everything been going on. How we doing, Nikita?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to be here, y'all, man. It was a lot, right?
It was very much a lot. Thanks for Symbolic working with me and connecting, and we was not gonna give up on you.
No, y'all wasn't. Y'all wasn't
We
playing
are
with
in
me.
connection. We are love.
I love y'all for that. Y'all was like, oh no. We can do it.
Oh yeah, you wasn't quitting. Mm-mm.
Yes. So we're going to start off with you today.
Okay.
So, as I read, you're a trained actress. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I didn't even know that. I knew that you acted in plays with Michael Gray. So tell us a little bit about that and how you got started with that.
This is gonna be weird, but my mom used to take me on auditions since I was like 6 or 7 years old. I was actually in a Burger King commercial. Can y'all believe that?
Oh wow. And
I was about 6 years old. And the only thing I said was, this burger is good. That's the only.
And you probably was that little girl I seen on the commercial. I just didn't recognize you.
And the only thing I know is I remember my mama getting the money and taking me shopping. That's what I remember.
Wow, that's a treat. Now tell us, how long have you been an actress? Where did it actually begin?
I did commercials, and then I did like plays in elementary school, middle school, college.
Okay.
I stopped a little bit after college because I had my daughter.
Right.
I started back up with Michael Gray and get my feet back in there again. So
now, what inspired you to truly, fully pursue that world on? What inspired you to do that?
Acting.
Yes.
My mom. My mom always been my mom was an actress. My mom was a model, and so we just started. She started that path.
Type of characters that you have acted.
I've always played like the stuck-up Southern girl. I don't know, but I'm really not. I'm really not.
So you're nothing like that character at all. We know you're
really not. I'm really not. But I've always been good with accents.
Okay.
So I would always like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? I love you, Symbolic. I love you, Lovely. I love you, Spicy. You know what I'm talking about, right?
So as I see, you really enjoy doing that character too. Yeah. After following all these years, I've witnessed that you are just the root to what you do, of the many gifts that you have. But actually, the seed that was planted is your mother, Mrs. Rita Glenn. Am I right?
Yeah.
Can you share with us a little something about her, her gift that is rooted within you?
My mom is a writer. My mom has written books, like children's books.
Okay.
She writes poetry. My mom is a singer, so I started singing from my mom.
Okay.
She just started everything with Nikita. She started me like 3-4 years old. She was a young mother, so to entertain herself, she would have me do like little talent shows,
right,
like that. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I also found out that you're a choreographer. Yes,
I've been dancing since I was 2.
Dancing and everything, and you started with a lot of stuff. So, yeah. What inspires you to do that?
I mean, again, I've been dancing since I was like 2 years old. Y'all remember when your mama and your daddy or your uncle, they always have little house parties, and you the entertainment?
Yes.
I was the entertainment.
Wow. Now, in Houston, where you were raised, where you was known as something for your dancing.
Yeah.
Who did they compare you to and why?
Now, I started off doing Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Now, that was my thing now, because I could do Michael Jackson. That moonwalk was smooth. You know what I mean?
I guess you're gonna have to show me and Lovely and Symbolic that move.
I'm gonna show y'all.
I want to stay.
So age 7, I was doing Michael Jackson, and then I started doing Janet Jackson, and that's what everybody knew me for. I had Janet Jackson. I had Janet Jackson on lock. Like I just
control. Yeah. Now, between the age of 12 and 14, your mom entered you in a talent search competition where you were the youngest of all the competitors.
Yeah.
How long were you, and do you remember the feeling you had being a part of something so big?
Okay, so when I was 12, I won like a talent search to go to either New York or California, and we ended up going to California. Okay. And again, my mom would always take me to auditions, and I've always been a writer, rapper. I started out rapping before I did poetry.
I've seen that too.
Yeah. So she looked in the paper, and they had like a talent search for rappers.
Right.
This management company was looking for somebody to manage, somebody to.
Now, was this the company called Bonetta? Bonetta Productions?
Yes, Bonetta Productions.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
And this was in California. I remember going, and it was a big crowd. It was a big crowd, and I was the youngest at the time. I was only 14. And I remember they put the beat on, and I used to freestyle good, and I just started rapping. I mean, I can still spit, but I mean, but I used to be able to freestyle,
Right.
So
now, at the mere age of 17, you was discovered and signed to a record company.
To Capitol Records.
Exactly. Where you went under a different name.
I was Lachey at that time.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that and why Lachey?
Lachey was actually supposed to be my middle name. Instead of Lachey, but my mom was out of it and she kind of spelled the name wrong. Okay. But I used to be Nikki D. I don't know. Do you remember Nikki D from back in the day? As a rapper. Aisha, do you remember her? A little bit. Yeah. Okay. So since she was out, I had to change my name because I was Nikki D for a long time. And so my manager was like, Nikita, you got to change your name. So I was like, okay, but then I'll just do Lachey. And so that's what I was for a long time. I was Lachey.
Wow. Well, God has purposed you in a lot of ways, multi-talented. I mean, beautiful, dance and rap. I mean, what else can you not do? Because we know you can cook.
I don't like cooking, though. Can y'all write that down? I don't like cooking.
Okay, thank you for that. And next, we're going to go to Miss Lovely Vibes. Hello, beautiful lady.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. A little tired, long day.
Wow. Well, first, I'm going to ask you about that background, because, girl, that background is speaking volumes. I love it. Now, tell us a little bit about that and what made you come up with that.
For the background? I like backdrops.
Yes, the background.
Photography, like just for fun. If you haven't noticed, if you look on my page, there's tons of pictures of me, my kids, my family. So my big thing has been like uplifting our kings and queens. And actually, Sin bought me this because he kind of saw me looking at some similar curtains. And so when I went to the Amazon, because that's where I order everything, I'm thinking that I was like, I didn't order anything. So I opened it and I'm like, ah! So yes, he knows that I love my
man is standing behind me. That's what I like. Yes, good job, Sin. I love it. Now, let's get to Chattahoochee, Georgia. Now that's one thing you get from me. How long did you live there?
I didn't live there long. I don't even remember that part of Georgia. I'm a military baby, so moved around a lot, but I had to be there long enough that me and my older sister was born there. A lot of it's like right by Columbus County, just a small little place.
Right.
But when I actually was in Georgia, I spent more time in Augusta, and I spent like part of elementary and a little bit like all the way through middle school there. So I was born there, but raised a little bit of everywhere.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you, some don't know I'm also a military brat. Right there. I know what's up. And yes, then I've been you already know how I do. Okay, now what branch of service was your military brat in, and for how long was he in there?
Both my parents were in the Army. My mother stayed in until after she had my sister because, it's kind of tough with 4 children and we're all 2 years apart. My dad retired after 21 years, and that's how I ended up in San Antonio.
Okay. Now, being of that life as a military independent, what was life like for you? Because I know what that world was like, and I don't want to be with another military.
So I did enjoy moving, and I didn't even realize that until I got older, and I've been here for so long. Because back then, as a child, of course, I didn't like moving because I was always leaving my friends, and we really didn't stay in too many places more than a couple of years. And then we would move and move back, or we would have to stay with cousins or different grandmothers, family members, because like I said, both my parents were in the military when we were young. But it was also nice to, when I got older, know that, hey, I was in Germany, I've been in different places. So it just amazes me when I meet people from here, because a lot of them were born and raised in Texas and have never left Texas. So that, to me, being military dependent is like, wow, are you serious? How do you stay somewhere your whole life? But then the downside was I meet so many people who have so many connections and friendships that have been for years, and I never was able to have that other than with my siblings because I was never anywhere stable. Even coming here, my dad was going through getting ready to retire. So I ended up at 3 different high schools. So I don't have a graduation class that I would even recognize most of the people, maybe 1 or 2, because I started off, we moved here, we lived off base. And then, like in the military, when you live off base, you don't realize how expensive it is. And so then we ended up going back on base. So I went from MacArthur to Cole, which is the school on base. And then I graduated at Theodore Roosevelt. So again, still leaving behind friends without even moving. It just kind of like a pattern. I was always somewhere different.
Yeah, and it seems like it affects everybody different because me being a military brat, I guess also it has to do with it because I was a big mama's baby and she had to fly wherever because I wanted my big mama. But it affected me to where all the moving, I don't like going nowhere. It's hard for people to get me to go anyway, in the park mall, and I'm like, I want to go out there, so it's like I don't want to move. But I mean, it's good to see that I actually have somebody in connection to where they had the same life as I did, even though we take it differently. But because I don't want to travel.
And for me, I was so used to change that it's weird now being here for so long. People be like, "How long you been here?" I guess I'm like, now I guess I'm considered a Texan because I've been here since 9th grade, and so. But I still try to claim Georgia. I'd be like, no, I'm from Georgia and Florida. So
I ain't just home in my home. Now, you're a teacher and an advocate for children. Can you share with us a little bit about that? And how does that compare with you being a teacher, especially during the pandemic?
So the thing with education is it pretty much runs in my family. So even when my dad retired from the military, he went into education. He actually went back to school and got a couple of degrees. He's a pastor as well, but his love and passion is always to help the less fortunate. So he's an ROTC instructor. I believe he's at Burbank now. He was at Edison when he first started out. My mother retired from NEISD. She was a teacher and after school program coordinator. And my oldest sister is a teacher at School of Excellence. She had worked at IDEA as well. That's how I got on to IDEA. And she's a biology major, a historian, and now she's going forward to school. So as you can see, we just continue education. It's a big thing. So it runs in the family. And so I jumped on bandwagon, but my thing is my love starts with the babies. I always say my babies. I started in the Early Learning Academy. And the big reason for that in the beginning was because I was one of those mommies and I was a young mommy and I was like, I heard what they do to kids at the little schools and daycares. So I started out when I got the opportunity by Miss Ina Kane, who believed that I can do the job. So her faith in me allowed me to have that door open. And I went into early childhood development. My first job though was with Northeast as an after school employee, but I wanted to do a little more, and that was just a part-time job other than in the summers where I was hired for like supply coordinator and like assistant director, and that was also through working with my mom. So I realized that I really enjoyed it. And so what I did after the Early Learning Academies, I started off as the 2-year-old teacher, and I was able to be there with my baby, which at the time was Rain, my son, my only son. And so I really enjoyed it. The first class they put me in, I was really shocked because me being the only African American there, I was in a class with a whole lot of Hispanic children. And they were just learning how to even speak a little bit of English. So with me, I'm big on challenges, love challenges. So I took Spanish when I was in school, but you know, they teach you the basic Spanish. So what I did was downloaded the translator so that way I can understand and I can know. And I had her, my other teacher that worked with me, co-teacher, I would pay attention when she taught because we taught everything in English and Spanish. So by the time I was done with that, I can do a whole entire lesson plan circle time in Spanish and in English. And so I just thought that that was really amazing and cool. Now, can I sit there and talk to you all the time like that? No, but I sure can teach you a whole circle lifetime lesson.
Wow.
As well. So then, like from there, I got the opportunity to become an assistant director. And I really enjoyed that because I had the part of being a teacher. So I saw where we were failing the teachers and where we weren't allowing them to be their self. I don't believe in like everybody teaches the same way because every child doesn't learn the same way. Exactly. So it was like exciting to be able to be the advocate for my teachers as well as for the children, because at the end of the day, for me, the children are always going to come first. There is no bad child. I call them strong-willed. And most of the time, if they're acting up, there's a deeper underlying issue. And I understand that from my background and things that I've been through. Children don't just do something for nothing.
Exactly.
So from there, I got the opportunity, which that was only God. He had been telling me, get out of this center. This is not where I want you to stay. And I kept fighting it, and I was hesitating on my application for IDEA. And then the next day, before I was like, okay, should I tell my boss? No, I just want to stay because I'm big on consistency. And I love my babies. So the center shut down. And when it shut down, I got the call from IDEA and I got the job. So that was like amazing. And I've been at my center, my school, IDEA Najum, for going on 4 years as a founding teacher. So I was one of the first teachers in this building. Now, also, other thing that was awesome at that Early Learning Academy, I had the opportunity to be in the baby room for a little while. And the amazing thing about that Learning Academy is we taught the babies sign language so that they can communicate and we can understand their wants and needs. So like you'll see some videos where I posted and TT's doing like this or she's doing like this. So we taught them how to say like, I'm hungry, thank you, drink, just simple sign language. And it was just amazing to me that because even that young, that's where a baby starts to develop. And during that, I got my CDA, which is the Early Childhood Development Certification. So, Dylan.
You didn't develop no baby fever, did you, while you was in there?
So, that's just kind of wrapping it up. I'm still, like I said, right now we are doing distant learning, which is new, different from all of us due to COVID. So everything is virtual, but we are still doing our classroom rotations. I offered every scholar a free laptop. So all of our kids that go to our school have a laptop. That way they don't have that problem. And any of them who were unable to get internet, we also are supplying with like the MiFi to help them as well. So they're really big on team and family and making sure that no child is left behind. And what I teach is accelerated reader. So I'm there to help close that learning gap that the regular schools and public schools are doing, where we're just skipping our children. So like the testing that I do is to see where the children are on their beginning level. I start them there to encourage them and make them feel a sense of pride that they can do it. And then I slowly progress them up so that they're continuing to see like their growth and that they're doing better and better. So it's just building their confidence and self-esteem to know that there is no limit. You can do anything.
Exactly. Now, how has it been for you, with dealing with your own children during the pandemic and school being out?
That is a lot of running around, a lot of multitasking, but that's one thing that I'm good at because as a teacher, you can't ever sit down. So it does help with that. Like I'm always on the go because I'm a real hands-on at school. Like from my high schoolers to my babies, they call me mom. I'm the mom. I'm the go-to if I'm sad, if a teacher's bothering me, if I just need a hug. They all know my door is open. So like here with the kids, the only difficulty is everybody have to be on the Wi-Fi at the same time. So it does kind of slow it down. And then if we're all on like we are on these lives, everyone's talking at the same time. So we have to try to distance enough. But at the same time, you guys know I have a 6-year-old. So I have to run back and forth with her and make sure she's staying on and go back. So it is a little bit different, but manageable. And again, I have a great team and the teachers that I get communicate like wonderfully. We have all kinds of different channels of communication where you hit them on the spot, they respond right away. As long as you communicate, then they're good. So they understand if I say, well, hey, I'm a teacher too, or I have to work from home too. And so my scholars work may be a little late, or as long as you communicate and let them know, or I say, hey, Talia might have missed this class today because I was on with my class. As long as the work gets done and turned in, they're still good.
Good. Now, speaking of discovering hidden talents, you're also a published author.
Yes.
Can you tell us the title of your book and what is it about?
Okay, so my first published book, I actually published and copywritten. My mom helped me with. It was called Nika's Poetic Garden. And I was about 17 years old when I did that. Okay. That book was a collaboration about, and so is all my books and my poetry, about things that I've been through in my life, but through poetry. I always just had more of a like lyrical tone, kind of even when I speak, I might start speaking in rhyme. So it was just easier to get it to flow out that way. And then my upcoming book is called Lovely's Poetic Garden because I'm older now and there's more that I'm willing to share. It's more transparent. And it's like getting to the deeper roots of what I've been through now that I have healed and I understand and I'm a more confident person in myself. So the book it's all kinds of themes, genres. It's about love. It's about heartbreak. It's about going through pain. It's about dealing with being abused, sexually assaulted. It's every piece of me, which is again to me poetry through healing.
Yeah, that's very important. But you're also the CEO and founder of Jay Shanique's Poetry Corner. Can you share with everyone what is it and all that is consisted of?
So Jay Shanique's Poetry Corner was started out, and it was like I put it up, and it was just small. But I felt like growing up, I didn't really have an outlet spot where I could actually be 100 and just not judged and not feel like I was going through things alone. So I wanted to be able to offer that to other people. And so it's like a healing platform and a community. To me, I like to say it's like a family. I love each and every member. And right now we have 400 plus members and they're all awesome. We even have men, which was very surprising because it started off with a lot more men posting their thoughts and feelings in poetry than it was even women. And so now that it's grown, we have people from Germany, the Philippines, all over the place. And I didn't even notice that. Like Sin was the one that showed me and I was like, oh, wow. So on Sundays, we do a show based off member topics. I ask the members, what would they like to hear about or what would they like to know? Because that's important to me. If I'm helping others heal, it can't just be about me. Exactly. So without those members, there would be no one to help heal the platform. And we also started a mentorship on there where you can reach out and if you want to pair up with someone else, just to have either just to build a friendship or get some advice. So the poetry that's posted, I feel like it helps because each person realizes that they're not alone. You may see a poem in there and it touches you because you went through that or you understand what they feel. So with you just saying, hey, thank you for that. I understand what you're going through. I've been there before and I've overcome it. That person may not have overcame it yet, but you just gave them the strength to know that there is an end to this. This is not where I have to stay. I'm bigger than this. I am enough. I may be broken, but at the end of the day, I can still become a beautiful masterpiece.
Yes. Now, can anyone be a part of this, or are there requirements to meet in order to join the Jay Shanique's Poetry Corner?
So all that I ask is there's like 3 simple things. I don't want anybody to be disrespectful because these are people pouring out their hearts. It's a judgment-free zone. You're only allowed to be courteous criticism. And just like I don't want a whole lot of advertisements on them unless it has to do with poetry, music. You know, to me, music, poetry, dance, that's all hand in hand. But to, just to go on there to advertise, I don't want my members bothered. I want them to be able to get what they want, what they came for to get out of it. So it's just a real big thing to me that they're sharing something to you that is very deep to them and personal, and the fact that they're okay and they're allowing themselves to be transparent. They're sharing their hearts with you and they're pouring out their stories. And I just don't want anybody disrespected. I'm real big on that. So it's nothing major. Just be courteous with your comments. If you don't have nothing nice to say or encouraging, don't say it at all. You can post any type of poems because people have been through all kinds of things. Suicide, abuse, neglect from parents. That's fine. The poetry is fine. Everybody has their own style and everybody needs to be able to express themselves and get it out.
Great. That is beautiful. Now, not that your life has enough flavor to it. You decided to add a little bit more spice to it by becoming Miss Petite Converse. But that challenge of greatness expanded for on August 7th, you competed for Miss Petite Texas. Can you share with us what was that like and what was the outcome?
So that experience was absolutely amazing. And even my manager, again, I'm big on shouting out my people, which is all my fans on Facebook, Instagram, the Poetry Corner, because my manager straight came to me and was like, girl, you got so much support. Like, she was like even amazed. She was like, people love you. And I was like, oh, but like the whole journey, like I could not have done it without each and every one of my supporters. And like I say, I believe like my mom, biggest thing is it takes a village. And I sure feel like I really had one. Like people were messaging me afterwards because I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And they were like, well, how did you do? What happened? Then like the voting for me, the outcome was amazing. It was going back and forth, and I was just like, no, it's okay. And they're like, no, girl, we want you to win. You already a winner. And I was like, okay, like y'all got more faith in me than I do. And like, so the whole journey was amazing. The weekend of the pageant, I mean, Vanessa, the manager for the Miss Texas Petite, was amazing. She like made sure that we were prepared so that we were not just up there not knowing anything. So we rehearsed all day. The first day was nothing but rehearsals from 10 to 6. The next day, the day of the pageant, we were still rehearsing. We rehearsed from 9 to 10, and even I got so many compliments about my smile, the eye contact. A lot of people were just amazed that this was my first pageant. And then at the end of the day, I won Miss Photogenic, which I was like, okay, like I didn't win by votes, but the fact that the 3 judges picked me out of 19 other girls, I was like,
wow.
And my picture was taken with Miani's photo studio. If y'all see me post that, that means at home. Okay, so Sin took the winning photo. Nice Jones did my makeup for the wedding photo, and Vincent St. Vincent set up like the editing for the photo. Okay. And so that was amazing for Sin as well, because he was like, yeah, my photo won. And I was like, I was in that photo, but okay. Shout out
in the photo as well.
So, and then my dad, who went and purchased over $200 worth of photography equipment for me. So I like my sponsors, like I said, all of you guys were so amazing that it made this journey so peaceful. My first sponsor, Miss Fire with 3 eyes, came right up out of nowhere, meeting me one time, seeing me on shows, and was like, hey girl, I got you on your evening wear, and has also been by my side since day one.
That is a true blessing. Congratulations to you. I am so happy for you. The last thing I want to know is that if I lose the weight and get a little bit of hips, can I borrow that dress? That was a bad dress, girl. I loved it. Thank you so much. But we're going to take a small interlude because we're going to bring you the newest one to the connection, the one that I just fell in love with. I'm telling you, she will reach deep down.
Yes, I love her.
Symbolic soul to speak with us next. But now we're going to bring to you Maya Angelou, Wear the Mask.
I have written a poem for a woman who rides a bus in New York City. She's a maid. She has 2 shopping bags. When the bus stops abruptly, she laughs. If the bus stops slowly, she laughs. If the bus picks up someone, she laughs. If the bus misses someone, she So I watched her for about 9 months. I thought, Now, if you don't know Black features, you may think she's laughing. But she wasn't laughing. She was simply extending her lips and making a sound. I said, oh, I see. That's that survival apparatus. Now, let me write about that to honor this woman who helps us to survive. By her very survival, Miss Rosie, through your destruction I stand up. So I use the poem with Mr. Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem, Masks, and my own poem for old black men. Mr. Dunbar wrote Masks in 1892. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It shades our cheeks and hides our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding heart, we smile and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh my God, our tears to thee from tortured souls arise. And we sing, hey, baby, we sing, hey, oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world think otherwise. We wear the mask. When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke, a dance that's walked, a song was spoke. I laugh so hard, I almost choke when I think about myself. 70 years in these folks' world. The child I works for calls me girl. I say, yes, ma'am, for working's sake. I'm too proud to bend and too poor to break. So I laugh until my stomach aches when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laugh so hard, I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit, but eat the rind. I laugh until I start to cry when I think about myself and my folks and the little children. My fathers sit on benches, their flesh count every plank. The slats leave dents of darkness deep in their withered flank, and they nod like broken candles, all waxed and burnt profound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission that made your world go round. There in those pleated faces, I see the auction block, the chains and slavery's coffles, the whip and lash and stock. My father's speaking voices that shred my fact and sound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission, and that made your world go round. They laughed to shield their crying. They shuffled through their dreams. They stepped and fetched the country and wrote the blues in screams. I understand their meaning. It could and did derive from living on the ledge of death. They kept my race alive by wearing the mask.
And she begins to cry. That's Maya Angelou, We Wear the Mask. As we go on, we will be able to continue to play tribute to her because as I read up on the bio of Maya Angelou, I mean, I've always been inspired by her, loved her melody and how powerful she was. But what a lot of people don't understand is that sometimes when we have a certain melody, it's pulled from somewhere. It's just like when you say they sing so powerful. They have an original voice. Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle. But one thing that you don't look at, you want the gift, but you don't want the crosses. because she had crosses that mold her into what she is today. Now, as we go on, I'm going to give a little shout outs. We have Rosalie Davis. Hello, lady. Thank you for tuning in. Sin City, the real. He says, Queens through and through, poets and Black strong queens. Keep doing what you do. He rhymed there. Is he trying to fit in, lovely? So Cindy Real says, I knew it. You snooping around. Yes, I do snoop. I am a stalker, okay? You cut off. No, you love me too much. I ain't going nowhere. And then also Rosalie says, oh yeah, you're a Texan. Talking about Miss Lovely. You ain't nothing else but a Texan. Thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate y'all. And as I promised, we have a special treat. Well, I fell in love with her with the moment I first heard her voice and I heard her song, Miss Symbolic Soul. Hey, lady, how we doing? How's it going?
Hi. I'm feeling
Now,
good. Glad to be here. Yes. Yeah, I did. It's called Healing Souls Turning Pain into Purpose. Yes. Wow, I mean, it's like a dream come true. I'm telling you, I just started writing poetry like about 2 years ago, maybe. And then, it's crazy because I just let God guide me and he guided me to the right places. And then this, I read this one poem one time and these ladies was like, you know what, I think you should write a book or whatever. So I said, all right, I'm gonna do it, and it happened. And I'm just like, I'm so grateful. All the glory belongs to God. Well, it's still you get to pre-order it now. It's not
you're a well-known performer and have hosted in events as well. Can you share with us where all have you performed and hosted it?
I performed at Ventura, and I used to host there too. So I don't think the Nikita ever came there. I booked her a couple of times. Yes. Nikita goes everywhere. We was at Haven for Hope though. Oh, that was amazing. Like that was amazing. Like I performed there and that was the whole time there was this lady just like looking at me, right? Like she was just like fixated on me. So afterwards I tried to connect with her, but I couldn't find her. And then lo and behold, the next day Nikita sent me a message and said that same lady had was looking for me, right? And said a message for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so powerful. So I really touched her like with my words, and I'm like, once again, it was nobody but God.
You're a lyricist, you got this book published, but Nikita's not the only one you know. You also know Miss Lovely. Also, you was welcome into her corner on the section, and she actually won one of the pieces, Lovely. Yes.
Yes, so she won Poet of the Month, and we also read one of her pieces during one of the shows because we all were just like, wow, by it.
That was an honor, boy. Okay, you also competed in a red carpet event called Dear Frank. Tell everyone about this memorable moment who was the spotlight of this event.
Oh man, at the Dear Frank event, the film Nikita was there too. We got to be on stage and perform, and then we got to meet Mr. Brian White. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's all everybody kept talking about was his ankles. Like, did you see his ankles? I was like, what? you know you're a star when they don't even look at your body or your face. They just like, did you see the ankles?
What was that experience for you? Just to meet, this young man.
I was excited. It was just,
we can't hear.
Oh,
we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me? It was
We can hear you, yeah.
he was just handsome, but he's very handsome too. You know, I'm not gonna say too much since I'm married. He was cute.
Well,
Though.
somebody.
Okay.
Now, when I was going over your bio, one thing what wasn't included that I later discovered, like Sin is accusing me of, just like snooping around. But what I had discovered was you had been requested and was a special performer in something called Project Smash.
Oh yeah.
No,
I didn't put that on there.
I'm still gonna be talking all through y'all pages, all through the background. I Google everybody.
Oh yeah, that was a networking event. So yeah, I went there to that networking event. Got to meet a lot of ladies and everything with Project Smash. Yeah, that was awesome.
Are a businesswoman. You own a t-shirt company called. Okay. How long has it been in business, and what all do you offer your company?
It has been in business maybe about 2 or 3 years now. I haven't really got the chance to market it like I want to, because at first I was working at TSA, but once I quit my job there, I had a lot of more time to do different things, because I finally realized, like, you know what, I want to have that mindset that I need a 9 to 5 in order to pay my bills, and I let God guide me, and God said, do this, so I obeyed him, and that's what happened. So soon, my t-shirt company gonna take off.
Because I found out that you're a graphic designer as well. So you've been being a lyricist and a graphic designer. How does that play? Because you actually achieved your associate's degree in graphic designing, along with sociology, and that was at the International Academy of Design and Technology. With your t-shirt business and everything, how do you coordinate all that together? And did it actually help you in ideas with your t-shirts?
Well, yeah, it did. What it was I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? Because when I was younger, I dropped out of school. I felt like I had nobody to push me or nothing like that. But then as I grew, I kept having these dreams about me walking across the stage. So as I kept having those dreams, I was just like, okay, it's something that I still got to do. I always felt like God always talked to me, even though I was so hard-headed, I know he still sent people to me to send me messages and everything. So I went back to school. Well, first I had got my GED actually, but I was in Hawaii at the time because my ex was in the military. So I had wind up getting a high school diploma in Hawaii, and then so after that, that's when I was still like, I still had the dream. So I went and got my graphic design degree. So after that, I still was having the dreams, right? So I was like, okay, I got to go back to school, right? So that's when I went back to school to get my sociology degree. And then I guess the dream stopped then. So then I was like, okay, because school is hard.
Yeah,
it's not easy at all. But I feel like I needed all of those things to put me at a place to be able to be like to write the book. I feel like if I didn't have all of those things, if I didn't have that drive to just keep on going with all the obstacles and everything that I had in my life, if I didn't have that drive to just keep going, I wouldn't have been able to write that book.
Wow. Wow. So it all works behind each other.
Yeah, basically.
You also have a youth ministry too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Uplifting Souls Youth Ministry.
What do you offer to this young generation and teach them within the group?
Well, I haven't started it yet. I'm still trying to get it up on the ground. Once again, when you work a 9 to 5, it takes so much of your time. So you don't really have time to pursue your own purposes and your goals and your dreams like that. You got to do it like it becomes a side gig or something like that. So I haven't had the time to really get into it and actually start it up. I do have a website for it though, but I'm still working on it, on getting everything together.
Okay, I appreciate that. It's so good to have you on here with us. And we're going to go to another small interlude. And that's when we're going to bring all y'all as a group to ask y'all questions. What is they? You'll find out in a minute. But everyone, this is Maya Angelou with In and Out of Time.
Sun has come. The mists have gone. We see in the distance our long way home. I was always yours to have. You were always mine. We have loved each other in and out of time. When the first stone looked up at the blazing sun, and the first tree struggled up from the forest floor, I had always loved you more. You freed your braids, gave your hair to the breeze. It hung like a hive of honeybees. I reached in the glass of the sweet honeycomb there. God, how I loved you. You saw me bludgeoned by circumstance, lost, injured, hurt by chance. I screamed to the heavens, loudly screamed, trying to change our nightmares into dreams. The sun has come, the mists have gone. We see in the distance our long way home. I was yours to have, and you were always mine. We loved each other in and out, in and out, in and out of time.
That was Maya Angelou with In and Out of Time. Now, I have questions. I'm going to unmute all y'all. See, all y'all made it now. Okay, we're unmuting your mics. Okay, make sure all y'all unmuted. Okay, Symbolic, is yours still muted? There you go, there you go. You don't do that to me. We had a wrong. What we're going to do now, before I actually get to the questions, we're going to actually start with Ms. Lovely.
Hey, Lovely going first.
You want to give us a little taste of it, whether you want to spit it, whether you wrote something down, having your phone. Give everybody a taste of Miss Lovely vibe, and don't give me that look.
So
She's starting us off.
Piece is called Broken Crown Still Color. To my queens that carry those oh so heavy invisible crowns, the humble ones that don't stand out in crowds, but are always the structure that holds everything together. The women that work tirelessly and long hours holding down their families. At work, never getting recognition because they are a woman and stereotyped as weak. Yet we continue to hold our heads up, never letting that crown slip. Gifted with gifts of deception, lies, and emotional tricks. In our minds, we struggle with so many open, infected wounds. Past traumas we carry silently, like massive metals weighting down our necks. Abandonment, neglect, poverty, feeling worthless, underappreciated, and sexual and or physical abuse. Silenced, but not always by man. We silence ourselves in fear of judgment, embarrassment. Told to be strong, even the strong shed tears and stumble, though they do not fall. I commend you, queens. I see what you do. Those gifts that you have been given, oh, what a blessing they have become. Opening up businesses, becoming doctors, teachers, advocates, CEOs. For a cause, experience, my loves, is by far the best education. Makes you the most qualified to help heal and save others' lives. Save them from themselves, self-doubt, abuse, feeling all alone. Yes, beautiful, you once were broken. The proof is in the scars, mental, physical, and far beyond. There are still cracks, but whatever you do, please never cover them or wrap them in bandages. Allow that light to shine through. For when a broken crown is broken, it still colors too. And even when it's melted down into nothing, that is not what I see. No, I see a new creation, recreated into a colorful masterpiece.
Yes.
That's that piece.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. And what was the name of that piece again?
Broken crown, still color.
Love it, love it. Not just with the background, but the crown.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It goes with
Now we're gonna give Miss Symbolic Soul the floor. And everyone, Miss Symbolic Soul.
Okay,
come on, Symbolic.
So the piece that I'm gonna do, it's called Lost Souls. And people say that I can't sing, but hey, I'm gonna do it anyway. Here we
I
go.
never said that.
So here it goes. I'm a lost soul, living in this world with no hope, trying to make it, but I just can't fake it no more. I'm a lost soul, living in this world with no hope, trying to make it, but I just can't take it no more. Hello, can anybody hear me? Do you see me? Can you recognize the pain that I carry daily? Do you understand my deep despair and thoughts that haunts me daily? Well, let me paint this picture for you. It all started with a blank canvas in 1977. Nowhere near a blessing, more like an added reason for stressing. Born to endure the hate that would escalate from generation to generation. Always felt hated but tolerated. Then spent the rest of my days feeling like an obligation. Aggravation became my second name as I longed for the love that would never be attained. Attention seeking and desperately needing a hug. Suddenly I began to find comfort in using drugs. Abandoned at a young age. You would have thought I would have been filled with much rage, but instead I kept a smile on my youthful face. I was amazed by how easily it was to disguise the rage and misplaced love that I was never gave. But after a while, thoughts of ending it all continually crept into my head. I cried out, why me? Why am I here? Why must I live on this earth where no one cares? If I died today or tomorrow, my funeral will be full of empty chairs. As I shed my tears, I plead to him again, God, why am I here? If you really love me, why must I endure this? If you really love me, my heart wouldn't feel like this. If you really love me, you would have protected my innocence. If you say you love me, you would let me escape to a place where I wouldn't have to experience this. Every day I'm being called a harsh name. God, living through this agony and pain is really starting to put evil, hateful thoughts in my brain. I'm sick of playing this game, stepping into battles with no real weapons. Shattered hearts are doomed from the start and they could never win. My heart is constantly reminding me that something is just not right. And for that reason, I can't even sleep at night. Jesus, please tell me why I shouldn't take a first-class flight out of this place called life. My family said I can't do nothing right. Plus, all my teachers said I could barely read or write. Oh, that reminds me, did I forget to mention that school is not even a safe place for me to be because my bullies find pleasure in controlling and embarrassing me. Basically, all this hype about life is not what people make it out to be. This place is draining and slowly leading me to insanity. Attack after attack. My young mind just can't handle all of that. Isolated with my thoughts, I write the letter out of pure pleasure, knowing that freedom is near my grasp. Fast forward to today. My mustard seed of faith made all that darkness fade away. And the reason I stand before you today is because of God's mercy and grace. Yes, all the glory belongs to God as he transformed my thoughts and brought me to the light. It took a while, but I finally realized on those dark nights, Jesus Christ was right by my side the whole time. His presence was always near as he gave me the strength to endure the pain and to conquer all my fears. Who would have guessed that the Spirit would finally reveal my identity and the purpose of my beautiful life after living for 40 years? Thank you.
Oh, love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Now
yes.
listen, I don't have no tissue. I don't know why. She always do that to me.
Yes, Amar said,
You
praise
know.
God, praise God. Okay, now we gonna have Nikita. Love him, Nikita. That's
Well, I hope I can get through mine without crying, because
we ain't gonna have no tears now. But we're gonna bring Nikita in. Nikita, give us that something. Give us something just to go on that emotional roller coaster. Come on, girl, let's bring it.
okay, so I wrote this for you, Spicy, you, Symbolic, and you, Lovely. My Angelou said, I know what a caged bird sing. She was asking the world to let freedom ring. Embedded in me is the melodic melody. The rhythm consumes me. I let it comfort me. It is lovely. My words are spicy. I taste poetry in my dreams. The symbolic soul that nurtures me is gold. And still I rise. To the skies, my mind takes me to that place. My ancestors, I see them, their smile, their face. I am happy. I am in serenity. My peace, my space. I am the enchanted park. La femme Nikita who see words in the dark in my dreams. I see poetic things. I am healing with the unspoken heart as I channel lovely vibes in my symbolic tribes. I am worthy of poetry, and that's my piece. Thank
Oh
y'all.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, all right, all right.
I love it.
I'm not surprised. She talking about tissue.
Okay, right now, here we go. We're going to start with symbolic. And I'm going to ask y'all the same questions as we go around. Symbolic. What inspired you to become a lyricist?
Like I said, I figured out my purpose and God told me that this is what I'm supposed to do because what I write, I feel like when I go back and read it, because to me, I just write words on the paper, not knowing what soul is touching or who can heal from it or and then when I go and perform and everything it's just it brings life to me because I be on stages like I'm performing at bars.
Right.
People is drinking and I'm speaking when I'm speaking and then they would come up to me and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even supposed to be here tonight, but just hearing you is just like it's amazing and captivating me and everything like that. So it's just like whenever God tells me to write, that's what I write. God inspires me. He's my inspiration.
Man, lovely vibes.
So what originally inspired me to write was a feeling of loneliness. I was always a quiet child and I never told my parents about my first sexual abuse. And so it caused me to shut down. And writing was a way to let go. So when I write, I would either tear it up or just leave it there. I was able to write it and leave it there, and I wouldn't think about that pain or that hurt anymore. Okay. So that's where I originally started writing, and as I got older, it was to allow people to have what I felt I didn't have, a way out through writing. And then, like, kind of like Symbolic Soul said, now it just comes to me. I'll wake up in the morning and Santa be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm writing something. I don't know what it is. I'm going to read it afterwards, but God needs me to share something. Somebody's going through something. I need to share it. And then I post it on the page and then I just leave it there. It wasn't for me. A lot of times I don't even know what I wrote. And so I read it for proofing to make sure it don't sound crazy. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So right now, I feel like everything that I'm doing, even through the pageant, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a vessel.
Right. Okay, Nikita.
Well, my poetry has always came to me in dreams. It's always been like that. I write songs too, so I've always did that. I've always seen like words in the clouds, words in the trees, and just like them, I think God is your messenger. It comes. A lot of people think poetry is about you or you or you. When we write, it doesn't mean it's about us.
Right.
It's about anybody. Like side chick, I'm not a side chick.
And
I wrote it because it's a side chick. You know what I mean?
I am the main chick.
Yes. So it's just it comes to you, you write it, and you try to touch a soul by that message and those words.
Okay, good answer. Now we're gonna go back down to Lovely. What place do you write from and why?
repeat the question, please.
What place do you write from and why?
All over the place. No, that's again, because I can be, like I said, now since it's like I wake up and write, it just depends on the mood. Sometimes I think that it's triggered by what I see going on around me and that people need at the time, need to hear. So like with all the COVID and all the deaths and all that, even with me, I lost my grandmother, my brother was murdered. But guess what? That's not going to help me heal. And it's not going to help anyone else for just them to only see like the world is like at an end. So I wake up and it's on my mind that I just need to do something silly or write something encouraging. Like the piece that I read was wrote for all of you queens. I know your stories and everybody may not know as much, but I know that there's so much that we do for other people and so much love and care we give. And we wear these masks and we smile because we want to uplift people. We don't want people to feel sorry for us. I don't need your pity. I don't need to be fixed. I don't need you to feel sorry. So what we do is we uplift other people, but sometimes we're hurting too. And so it's the point of the invisible crown is like we're all queens and we're wearing it all the time. You don't know who's wearing that crown or what they're going through when they're not on the scene.
Right.
Good answer.
Yes. Now we're gonna go to symbolic. What place do you write from and why?
I write from my soul. I use my past experiences to write and from my soul to heal other souls, which is why my book is called Healing Souls, because everything God just gave it to me, and then it's just like He told me to do it, so I do it, and I write from my soul the messages that He tells me to speak out.
Okay, good answer. Now, Nikita.
I'm gonna say I write from serenity. I write from dreams. It helps me heal. When I see bad things, like when things happen to children, for example, I dream of that. I see the children. I hear the children in my sleep, in my dreams. I have to write it out of me. So every time something bad happens, people be sharing videos and stuff, I have to write it out of me or it'll still be in there. I'll still be thinking about it. And I've always been like that. It's like a healing place. Again, it's my serenity.
Okay. And we're going to stick with you on the next question. What does poetry do for you?
Poetry helps me heal, helps me to sleep at night.
Right.
It helps me get rid of the pain that I have in my heart. I want my poetry to help someone else heal.
Exactly. And Lovely, what does poetry do for you?
Poetry for me helps me to heal. It helps me relieve whatever anxieties or stress I may be going through. It helps me also express how I may be feeling that I can't really express other than writing. So that's why I say it comes from all over the place. If I'm feeling like so loved and a lot of joy, I still need to release it and share it and get it out because it, again, someone may be having a bad day, but that's all they needed to hear to pick them up. If it's sadness, it's letting people know like I'm human too. No one's perfect. This is what I'm going through. But like I said, I initially started writing to let go. So for me, it's a escape, it's an expression, and it's just releasing some weight off of me.
Exactly. Symbolic soul. What does poetry do for you?
Poetry to me is freedom. Oh my God, it's a voice that was silent so long ago inside of me, and it started with me just writing the first poem called Wounded Child, right? And then when I wrote that, I was able to heal that wounded child inside of me, and I said I got to speak for everybody. I got to speak for all those people who don't even understand that they have that wounded child inside of them. So I just use my voice for to speak life and truth to everybody and give them that freedom.
Right, right. Okay, I'm gonna say, let me see. I'm gonna give this one too. I guess I'm gonna say lovely.
Come on, lovely.
How do you handle writer's block?
What was the question?
How do you handle writer's block?
So I usually don't get writer's block because if it comes to me, it's an overflow. So a lot of times I try to get writer's stop because I don't want to be writing a book. So I try to cut it off a little bit unless I'm gonna say it because I know a lot of people like, okay, that's like 2 pages long. I'm not going to read that, and that's when I'll get it writing. But like, I do sometimes just think of a title, and so I'll put it in a notebook, and then a couple of days later, it'll come to me, and I'm able just to flow with it, and it just comes out like. Again, Broken Crown Still Color, that title was just sitting in there for about a month. And I went back to it, and then all of a sudden it just came. Right. So everything is from within or something that, again, I feel like God needed to be heard at the time or spoke on. And so it just begins to flow.
Oh, great, great. Now, this question I want for Nikita, since she's all over the place anyway.
What does that mean?
Oh, describe your writing space.
My writing space. I like to meditate in the morning when I get up in the morning. I usually put my earbuds on and listen to some relaxing music, and then I write. I have insomnia, so often I'm up writing 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because when it comes to me, I'm writing. I'm always writing. I really don't have writer's block either, so my space.
You look really bad here right now because I have writer's block, okay?
Me too.
Me too. I don't get that.
And you are an amazing writer.
Thank you. Well, when it comes to me, gotta put it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, symbolic soul. When you're writing an emotional or any scene, how do you get in the mood?
Ooh. Basically, I can write anywhere. So I can be at work and just walking and write. I can be watching a sermon. I ain't gonna lie. I could be at church and then the preacher might say something and I can start a poem in my phone, because I write in my phone. Like I can't really write on paper like that. So I write in my phone. Mm-hmm. And basically, like when I start writing, I sit down and I think, okay, like I wrote this. I could go deeper. I gotta go deeper because I need this to go somewhere. Like people told me I write in a story. Like I make it seem like it's a story, you know. And I wasn't even aware that I do that. Like I put it in sequence like that. I wasn't even aware that I do that. But yeah, basically I can be anywhere and write, and it's just like it just comes to me basically. But I do have writer's block though. I do. And then I gotta listen to a sermon.
Describing how you be in church. I just seen this usher with a white glove.
I don't go to that kind of church though.
You know, because the usher they took it serious. That was like they do. They had the white gloves, and somebody come up to you. Who you know?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give this one to because I know me and her have had the experience of being in this mode before. So writing can be an emotionally draining and stressful pursuit. Do you have any tips for aspiring writers, Nikita?
I think that you should always write, keep writing, have a journal. If you're going through a painful experience, just keep writing. Like Symbolic said, you get like ideas in your head, and you may just, like Lovely said, you get a title, you may go back to it, but you have to keep writing. I know some of you know that I teach dementia and Alzheimer's, and that's my job. That's what I do. I advise everybody to keep writing, because if you don't write your mind, if you let your mind stay idle, you're going to lose it. You got to keep writing. You got to keep looking in the dictionary, getting new words. Just keep writing, just because let that be a part of you.
Right. Now, this next question I'm gonna give to Lovely, and the reason why I'm giving it to her because she got more tracks on her CD than me. No, just kidding.
It's a good CD, by the way.
It's a great CD. Out of all the pieces you have written, which one is your favorite one and why?
Oh goodness. Okay. Like I said, I've been since I was 17, so I have like lots of pieces. But I think my favorite was the one I just currently wrote. And I think it's entitled 3. I can't remember. I think that's what it's called. And the reason why is because in that I tell a lot and a little bit. It's about me not feeling feeling like I was alone, not understanding why God was putting so much on me. And then coming to the realization that every time that I thought that it was hard, every time that he didn't let me go when I tried to end my own life, I was blessed. And my children were my 3. So that was the point of it. And so when I go back, it's like I'm realizing that he was equipping me with this armor to be tough enough to tell my story. And then he would shine a little bit of light with my first child. And then when I thought about giving up, he's like, no, I have something else for you. And I had my second child. So they are like my purpose. They were like my reason. And to be able to let them know that no matter how tough life gets on you, there's still a chance. God still loves you. If that is the only person and thing that you have, it helps you hold on to something.
Right.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. See, I didn't. That one too bad. It didn't hurt too bad. Okay, and this is for all 3 of y'all. When writing your pieces, what is the key message that you're sending to ones who listen or read your book or CD?
The key message is that basically never give up. We all go through life. We all go through hardship. Life can be hard, but you got to keep going. You can't let that stop you. You can't let no obstacle stand in your way. Pursue your dreams. Pursue them. We all got gifts and talents. Perfect them. Take it day by day, Start somewhere.
Yeah,
That's what the message is.
beautiful. Nikita?
I would say mine is healing. I always try to let my poetry be a story of triumph, to let people know whatever you went through, God is going to bring you through. I always try to have my poetry where people can listen to it and get a message from it, a
Right.
beautiful message.
I love it. I love it. Lovely vibe.
Mine is that lights shine the brightest in dark. So it's just like a lot of people like to use the term broken. Well, light shines through broken things as well. So my poetry is like hope, letting people know that there's always, in every bad situation, whether a band-aid or what comes out of it is a stronger you.
Right. Right. Okay. Who is, because I know I love to read, I have all these books. And so I want y'all to tell me, each one of y'all, start with Lovely, then Symbolic, and then La Femme. Who is your favorite author, the book, and why?
Ooh.
So mine is old school because that's how I am, hopeless romantic. Shakespeare, and my favorite is Romeo and Juliet because there's just so much in that one piece. It's about division, it's about economical differences, it's about love, and it's about sacrifice. They were willing to risk being with each other and sacrifice their own lives for the other. They were willing to fight and beat the odds and go against their whole family just to have love and to belong. They were trying to unite two different economies and statues of life against all odds.
Right, right. Okay, Nikita.
My favorite, I love to read, but my favorite author is Mary Monroe. And she has a book called God Don't Like Ugly.
Mm,
So if y'all ever read that book, but it reminded me of my family. The stuff that she went through in the book. She has so many books, but I love her. She's a good author.
Symbolic.
Hmm. Oh, I don't know. I haven't.
This shit been there too
Would
long.
it be corny? Would
Same
it
way.
be corny if I say the Bible?
No,
That's
I don't know.
Psalms and Proverbs.
good.
There's so much knowledge in the Bible, So
I'm
it's
just
just like
saying.
I need that daily. That's what I do. It's like,
Nothing.
yeah. So
That's
I
the
haven't
best
been
part.
reading anything but the Bible. Basically, I have to make sure that I read that. Try to read it like every day. I do the
That's all.
Bible plans.
That's all.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the Bible. That could be the best book right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's why she's symbolic.
Yeah.
Right there it
Said
is.
a lot.
There it is.
Okay, now before I ask the next two questions, I'm going to call a lady that I spoke with earlier, and she's going to be coming out, when God say the time is right, but it's going to be so. She truly touched me through our conversation today. And I don't know if y'all heard of her, but she goes by Queen Soul. And I'm finna give her a call right now to see if she's still available and see if she want to give us a little something, something.
All right.
hope she didn't fall asleep.
Please leave your message.
Okay, if she happened to call before we end, we'll bring her on. Very powerful lady. And I'm telling you, when you hear her, you're going to feel it. She is deep, 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 deep. So we're going to go on to the next question. The next question is, if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what will it be? Nikita.
Dang it. Dang it. Hat wearing
Yeah, 3 times.
hat wearing poet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, symbolic.
I would be a God-fearing woman.
Okay,
So good.
love vibes.
Humble, compassionate, and committed.
I like that.
Love it.
Mm.
I love it.
Can I change my answer?
Look at Nikita, you're always starting something.
I know. It's the hat. It's the hat.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna give you a break, lovely, but you're still gonna have to answer it. I'm gonna go to symbolic. Set the scene, the best in setting for you to write.
On the beach. Yes. With just the sunset.
Wow. I just got goosebumps. Like, lovely.
It would be a colorful place with my petroleum diffuser going. The scents, I'm all about the scents and the peaceful calmness, but it has to be quiet, like a real serene, peaceful environment. So I'm able to just listen and write.
Yes. La Femme Nikita. Take us there.
Writing by a lake because I love water. So
I love water. I love water. So what we're gonna do now, because we're getting towards the end of the show, we're gonna go ahead and what y'all gonna do is tell it. I'm gonna give each one of y'all the window. So we 3 will exit out. I'll bring one of y'all be full window. You can go ahead and let everybody know how they can find you, where they can follow you. You know, if you have any events coming up, that fill them in about that. Also, if your CDs, your books, give them information on that as well. The title and where they can. We're going to start off with. Lovely vibe.
So again, I'm Lovely Vibes, founder and CEO of Poetry Corner. You can find it on Facebook. If you would like to become a member, my poetry CD, Within My Soul, is out on all platforms. I will be releasing a hard copy CD that will be autographed for sale as well on Shanique's Poetry Corner. Thank you.
Okay. Now we're gonna go over to symbolic.
Okay, I'm Symbolic Soul, guys. You can follow me on Twitter at soul_symbolic. On Facebook, you can follow me at Aisha Chantel Ward. That's my government name. And then I also have Symbolic Soul 77. And then on Instagram, I'm Symbolic Soul 77. And also, you could go and pre-order my book on my website, which is at symbolicsoul77.com. If you pre-order, I'm doing a special where the first 50 can get a special gift. So pre-order my book at symbolicsoul77.com. Thank you, guys.
All right, and congratulations, somebody, on your
Thank
music.
you.
Now we're gonna let Miss Nikita.
Control. No. So y'all know I'm La Femme Nikita. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Nikita LaFemme _44. I have a Facebook page, LaFemme Nikita, and my government name on Facebook is Nikita McClure. I also have a CD on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all platforms, YouTube, called Poetically Yours. I will be speaking at a candle vigil on Saturday at 6 o'clock at La Velita downtown, and I'm going to be doing a piece on Marquise Jones, and that's a piece that came to me in my dream, so it's going to be emotional. So I would like to have support. I'm going to be working on a new play for Michael Gray Productions. Hopefully soon. Because of the COVID, we had to put it on pause, but I look forward to that. I'm going to be also doing a play for Karen Chatham called Hurting Became a Habit. So I'm excited about that. And y'all just keep supporting me, and I'll keep supporting y'all. And I love everybody.
We love you too, and we can support you too. We support each other.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm proud of all of you.
Yes, and I'm really, really proud of y'all. And I really, truly thank y'all for coming on. This has been a treat. I really enjoyed myself, with the exception of the technical difficulties. That does not happen again.
It was my fault.
Hey, we can't forget about that purse though. That
But I really, it's an experience for each time. I hope to have y'all back again for Domestic Violence Month, because we'll have one each week of Domestic Violence Month, which is October. So we're informed about that. Also, we're not just going to have the ladies. We have to turn this up some, because next month we're going to do the tribute to Ossie Davis. We're going to have Michael Gray, Drake Who, and for Sean Smith from Texas. Yeah, but
my best friend. That's my best friend.
Because I haven't forgotten. As y'all know, we had the raffle going on. Yeah, we had the raffle going on, and I already know the winner. I know y'all looking at the tan purse, because that's not for this show. That's for the men's, for Ossie Davis. That's gonna be the raffle for next month. Yay! Thanks to Kate.
And we having some good purses.
Boutique. And that boutique, thank you so much. They delivered that today for next month. Yes, I like to be prepared ahead of time. That's the way to do it. But we got this one right here. And we wonder where it goes, because I already know. Nikita got her purse already.
I got mine.
Mm-hmm. It's just, we're going to do a raffle next month, and we're going to see what lucky lady going to get that Tamil. That Tamil is right. It got a wallet to match and everything.
I got my name on it.
You got your name on it.
I'm claiming that thing. Jesus' name.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, claim it. Because just like another lady claimed it, she won the purse today. Miss Symbolic Soul.
What I tell you? Visualize it and it happens. That's what I'm talking about. I told you.
I feel the hate on my
That's why she's the only one that had trouble logging on today. She was ready.
I was ready. Thank you.
Yeah. So next month, y'all make sure y'all tune in on the 17th, because I tell you what, we got a special treat. We got the men's going to show up. Let's see what they got. Let's see how they going to stand behind Ossie Davis' name.
That's right.
Because I'm telling y'all, I felt great about today. The tribute to Maya Angelou. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Please tune in next week as we will have August 20th at 7 p.m. for live interview with Mr. Leonard Fuller. What are we talking about? Okay, family, here we go. The dysfunctional family link. What is it going to be going on? I don't know because this man got me scared. I know him from high school, so yeah, we're gonna see what he's gonna bring. So tune in next week, 7 p.m. No difficulties in technical services in the name of Jesus. I'm telling you. But thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna let Maya Angelou take us out because I'm gonna tell you, as we spoke before, that everything comes from embedded within our soul. The crosses that we bear. The crosses that I discovered with Maya Angelou truly touched me today, and something that I never knew as long as I have followed her in the poetry path. Miss Angelou crosses were that at 7 years old, she was violently raped. She was raped so bad she was in the hospital. The guy was arrested, but by the time she got out of the hospital, he was released, but he was killed. So our story comes from somewhere. It's pulled from some area in our life. So before you say, I want that gift, make sure you are able to carry it. Everyone, let's give tribute to Maya Angelou as we head out with Phenomenal Woman.
Phenomenal Woman. Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist, the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palms of my hands, the need for my care. Because I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's my mother and all your mothers, and my grandmothers, and your grandmothers, and my great grandmothers, and your greats, and my great greats, and all you women, and me.
Thank y'all so much. That was Maya Angelou. And in the words of her, with the three ladies presented before you, you are phenomenal. Phenomenal woman are you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, next week we'll have Mr. Leonard Fuller. And hopefully he'll bring us something great because like I told you, I am scared. So let's see what happens next week. Y'all have a blessed one. Much love. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Good job. Love you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
That person went up.